Your tomatoes will stay fresh and crisp if you follow what I'm about to show you. Tomatoes. Juicy, sweet, acidic. The star of so many meals. Until they wrinkle, mold, or go mushy in just days. We all know that feeling. You walk over to the counter, ready to slice into a ripe, beautiful red tomato, only to find it fuzzy, soft, and totally ruined. But what if a simple 2-minute hack could change all that? What if it could protect your tomatoes from that dreaded mold and make them last so much longer? I'm about to show you the one kitchen staple that acts as a secret weapon for keeping that fresh from the garden flavor. It's not a fancy gadget or some expensive chemical. It's something you definitely have in your pantry right now. Stick around, because this is the trick that will finally let you enjoy every single tomato you bring home. And I will also be sharing some bonus unconventional tips, which if you do in addition to the 2-minute hack, will further extend the freshness of your tomatoes to weeks on end, so stay tuned. Before we get to the solution, it helps to understand what exactly is happening. The answer is in an invisible world all around us. Your kitchen, no matter how clean you think it is full of microscopic life. The main culprits are mold spores and bacteria, just floating in the air and sitting on your counters. A tomato's skin is its natural armor, but it's a delicate one. The tiniest bruise, a small crack, or even the little scar where the stem was attached, can be an open door for these tiny invaders. And we often make things worse with our usual storage habits. Do you bring tomatoes home and immediately store them in a tied-up plastic bag? Don't do this, because doing this creates a humid, stagnant home, a perfect breeding ground for spoilage. Another common mistake is putting them in a fruit bowl right next to bananas or apples. Those fruits release ethylene gas, a natural ripening agent that signals to your tomatoes to get old, fast-tracking them from ripe to rotten. It's a combination of this invisible enemy and our own well-meaning but wrong storage habits that leads to so much wasted food and frustration. It's a cycle, but it's one we are about to break. So, what is this game-changing solution? It's not some high-tech preservative. It's not a complicated canning process. It is simple, cheap, and incredibly effective. It is the use of distilled white vinegar in a specific ratio I will be sharing soon. Vinegar is one of the oldest and most trusted preservatives people have ever used. Its power is in its acidity, a natural trait that have been used for thousands of years to pickle and preserve their produce, making sure food was good long after it was picked. But I'm not actually pickling the tomatoes today because I don't want to change the fresh, delicious flavor of the tomatoes. Rather, I'm going to use vinegar's protective properties in a quick, simple wash. This creates an invisible shield against spoilage, thus keeping tomatoes fresher for days and weeks. Now let's walk through the process, step by step. This is where the magic happens, and you'll see just how easy it is. First, let's grab what you'll need. You'll need a large bowl, big enough for your tomatoes to swim around in. You'll also need some measuring cups, your bottle of distilled 5% white vinegar, and of course, your tomatoes. Any kind will work. Cherry, grape, heirloom, whatever you've got. Lastly, have a clean, dry towel ready to go. Step 1 is to make the solution. This is the most important part. Mix 1/4 cup of 5% distilled white vinegar with 10 cups of water in our large bowl. Give it a quick stir. This ratio is the key. It makes the water acidic enough to be effective against mold and bacteria, but not so strong that it will affect the taste of your tomatoes. If you're enjoying this video and you're excited to make your fresh food last longer, please hit that subscribe button. It's a free way to support what we do here, and make sure you won't miss out on more kitchen secrets like this one. And I have created different subtitles for this video, so you can choose to watch this video in a language that you are most comfortable in. Okay, now moving on to step 2. Gently place your tomatoes into the vinegar water bath, making sure they're fully submerged. If you have a lot of tomatoes, you can just do this in a couple of batches. Toss the tomatoes around a little in the vinegar water bath, then allow to soak for exactly 2 minutes. As they soak, the vinegar solution gets to work. It helps neutralize the existing mold spores and wash away surface bacteria that might be hanging out on the skin. The surface of your tomatoes is normally a neutral playground where microorganisms can grow. When you put the tomatoes into the acidic vinegar bath, you completely change that environment. This new environment is extremely hostile to the mold spores and bacteria that cause your food to decay. They just can't multiply or survive in those acidic conditions. The vinegar effectively neutralizes them on contact. Studies have shown that a vinegar wash can significantly reduce the amount of bacteria on the surface of fresh produce. So, think of this wash as giving your tomatoes a clean slate. Step 3 is the crucial dry stage. After 2 minutes, take the tomatoes out of the bath and place them on your clean towel. This step is just as critical as the soak. You have to dry your tomatoes completely. Gently pat them dry and make sure there's no moisture left, especially around the stem area where water loves to hide. Any leftover water would just invite mold back to the party. The goal is a clean and dry surface. And don't worry, once they're dry, you won't taste any vinegar, just the promise of a longer shelf life. Because we're using a diluted vinegar solution, which is 5%, and only soaking for a couple of minutes, the acid works its magic on the surface without getting through the tomato's skin. This means it doesn't cook the fruit or leave behind any real taste or smell, especially after you dry them off. You get all the antimicrobial benefits of the vinegar without any of the flavor drawbacks. You're basically creating an invisible, protective barrier that slows down the natural process of decay and gives you way more time to enjoy your tomatoes. And now, to some additional storage tips. Depending on the type of tomato, these hacks may be a little different, because not all tomatoes are created equal. Roma or plum tomatoes have great shelf life. Once they are washed and totally dry, store them on the counter on a plate, but turn them upside down. Stem side down. That little scar from the stem is the most vulnerable spot for moisture to get in and for rot to begin. By placing them stem down, you create a natural seal that helps protect that weak spot. Also, keep them in a single layer, not piled up, to stop them from bruising each other. Refrigerate them only when they are overripe. You can do this by placing them in a Ziploc bag, making sure you reduce the air inside the bag. Then you place the bag in the refrigerator. Heirloom tomatoes. These are very delicate. Once they are washed and totally dry, store them on the counter on a plate, but turn them upside down, stem side down. Store in a single layer, not touching each other. These are mostly used for sandwiches, and you may not want to refrigerate these. Cherry or grape tomatoes. These are the smaller tomatoes mostly used for salads. After their vinegar wash and drying, pop them into a clean glass jar lined with a paper towel. Cover with the lid and store them in the fridge. This method creates a perfectly stable environment, and they can last for weeks, staying crisp and ready for salads or snacking. So there you have it. The 2-minute vinegar trick, plus additional extended storage options for better tomatoes. It's a simple, cheap, and science-backed method to fight waste and hold on to that incredible fresh flavor. No more rushing to eat your tomatoes before they turn on you. No more disappointment. Just beautiful, delicious tomatoes, ready whenever you are. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever tried a vinegar wash for your produce? Do you have your own secret for making fresh food last longer? Share your thoughts and your own tips in the comments below. I really do read them all. Thanks for watching, and happy eating.